Yo, what's up? It's your brother. And hopefully your friend, Big Hill. Raquacy in the building. Each one teach one. I'm going to make this video. Got some things, some issues and concerns, some things I just need to speak on. Sitting here in Dayton getting loaded. And I was watching the video by Professor Griff. I think y'all know Professor Griff of Public Enemy fame, right? And he was talking about how yesterday a lot of people, well, actually he was talking about something that I had already been thinking about because I had the same experience, and it was strange how I was watching this video, man, and he was like expressing the same thing that I was saying in my mind because I wasn't talking to anyone about it. And what he was talking about is how, like yesterday on Christmas, how a lot of these African-centered people, quote unquote, African-centered people, with the Kemetic names and the Moorish names and the Islamic names, you know what I mean, espousing African-centered consciousness and pro-blackness, still celebrating Christmas, still engulfed in the practice of these pagan European holidays. And before I really get started and say what I want to say about it, man, I'm gonna have to be careful because I'm one of the type of guys, man, what I try to do is I try to be the change that I want to see in the world. And one of my critiques of black folk is that we castigate each other too much. We cast aspersions at each other too much. You know what I'm saying? We embrace a certain ideology, a certain belief system, and then we look out and castigate others who don't subscribe to the same paradigm and philosophy. And it goes on a lot of social media. I'm like, that's part of our problem and reasons why we can't unite with each other, man, because we too busy trying to shoot each other down. So I try hard not to do that. I try hard not to castigate others, cast aspersions at others. Now, when it comes to certain things, I just got zero tolerance for, like white Jesus. You know what I'm saying? When I see people worshiping that image, and I see people, black folk, I ain't gonna say people, I'm gonna say black folk. When I see, man, I just feel it necessary to say something about it because I know what that image was used for. You know what I'm saying? I know the psychopathy associated with that image as it pertains to our mind states. You know what I'm saying? They got us worshiping that. That's a white supremacist, that's white supremacist symbology. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't really gonna get into that, but when it comes to things like that, fuck that, I'm gonna talk about it. But what Professor Griff was talking about, like I got a couple of friends, I got like 2 or 3 people on my Facebook that got Kemetic names. You scroll through their pictures, you see them with all type of Kemetic symbology. But I'll be damned if yesterday they wasn't goddamn it full of Santa Claus, Christmas trees, and Merry Christmas. And that don't go together, man. That's fraudulent. You know what I'm saying? That's fraudulent because to me, if you trying to embrace Kemetic culture and you done threw a Kemetic name up there, why are you still celebrating European pagan holidays? Why are you still passing that same bullshit doctrine and philosophy down to your children? You got your children sitting up on a white man's lap talking about Santa Claus, but yet you got this Kemetic name. You got a Kemetic name, but you got a cross, a Christian cross hanging around your neck. Come on, man, that don't go together. You know, and I understand that, you know, there's different levels to consciousness and enlightenment. You know what I'm saying? So when I think about that, you know, I tend to want to give you a pass because I'm like, well, you just might be in that phase where you just really haven't divested yourself of all that European bullshit that we've been colonized and indoctrinated with. You know, that stuff that we've been socially engineered and mind-fucked into celebrating, like Christmas and Easter and all these European pagan holidays. Because I guarantee you, matter of fact, Baron Shango Musa wrote a book about it where he talked about the origins of these things, but I've done a lot of research myself. You know, every holiday that come up, I usually research to find out the origin of it. So I'm like, well, if you in that phase of your enlightenment, you know, I can understand you just haven't learned any better, because they say when you know better, you do better. But if you fully understand Saturnalia and you understand the origins of this pagan holiday as Christmas, and you still running around Merry Christmas and celebrating this holiday, giving your energy to false, non-existent white men, celebrating the European culture, got your children sitting in white man's lap. Come on, man. Nah, that's unacceptable. But you know, do what you want to do. It's just that when I see it, man, I just shake my head. I'm like, damn. I said, either they don't know, or either they know and they don't care. So if that's the case, man, go ahead and use your government name. Take that Kemetic shit, take that Kemetic down. If you still wearing crosses and embraces in Christianity, take that Kemetic off your name. Go ahead and use your government name, because you perpetrating the fraud. You know, I had a couple of other friends on my Facebook, him and his wife, dressed from head to toe in African garb and wear, and got big Christian cross around his neck. I'm like, that's just a costume. You know, I say the first thing when you embrace an African center, you start embracing the culture, the first thing you need to embrace is one of the spiritual systems. That's the first thing. Because that's the first thing they took from us when they came and got us. They said, nah, y'all leave all that stuff y'all do alone and y'all embrace this Christianity. Manifest destiny. You know, the Pope issued the papal bull and said, go conquer in the name of Jesus. And wherever you go, if they don't worship Jesus, then you got the right to kill them and wipe them out. So that's the first thing they done away with. So if you're going to go back and embrace Africanity, the first thing you need to do is embrace a spiritual system, whether it be Ma'at, Yoruba, Voodoo, and there's various others, what have you, you know what I'm saying? You know, even African Islam, because African Islam is a little bit different, as I understand it, as I've been told. The way Africans practice Islam is different than the way the Arabs practice. You know, it's just they hold on to the tenets, but culturally it's a different thing. So, you know, I just wanted to say that, man. You know, I remember when I was little, my dad, he just destroyed my little belief in Santa Claus. I remember I was like in the first grade, and I came home talking about Santa Claus. And my daddy looked at me and said, I'm your Santa Claus, what you want for Christmas? I was like, you my Santa Claus, you don't look like Santa Claus. Santa Claus is a fat white man with a white beard and he got a red suit, you don't look like Santa Claus. He said, look here, son, I'm your Santa Claus. What do you want for Christmas? So it's like, ever since I was little, when Christmas came around, I would look at him like, I want this and I want that. It wasn't about Santa Claus. I knew that everybody else, but he just put in my mind that, yo, he my Santa Claus. And I can't never remember going sitting on no big fat white man lap. But anyway, but yeah, I just wanted to say that, man, you know. Stop perpetrating, man. You know what I'm saying? If you one of these assimilationist Negroes, integrationist type, and you like to integrate with the dominant culture, and you want to assimilate into the dominant culture, then do that. But don't be on social media perpetrating the fraud and trying to make everybody think that you don't. Because when these holidays roll around, you give yourself away, man. You know what I'm saying? You give yourself away. And it's a bad look. It don't look good. You look like a hypocrite. You look like a damn fool, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? But I still love you, though, because I understand. You know what I'm saying? See, that's what I'm trying to not do. I don't want to castigate you and cast aspersion at you. I just want to bring your awareness. Stokely Carmichael or Kwame Ture said something that's real important when it comes to consciousness. He said the job of the conscious is to make the unconscious aware of their unconscious behavior. So if you're trying to migrate toward African culture and you still practicing European culture, then that's unconscious behavior. And if you are conscious with it, then you just a straight up fraud. You know what I'm saying? If you conscious and you know what you're doing, you like, yeah, I'm Kemet over here, but I'm still gonna celebrate Christmas. You know what I'm saying? You don't even take the holiday and transmute it. You know, we can call it Family Day because we know that most of black folk, that's the only time we get off these plantations and get days off and we can travel and see family members. You know what I'm saying? So you don't come together in the spirit of Santa Claus and Saturnalia and Christmas, especially when you know the origins of these things, these pagan practices. You don't do that, man. You transmute that European and turn it into something else. And you call it Family Day, like Thanksgiving, Family Day, Christmas, Family Day. New Year, that's a solstice. Ain't no damn New Year in the middle of winter. New Year is the spring solstice, you know what I'm saying, in March. That's the New Year. But we've been socialized and engineered and mind fucked into believing and practicing and embracing all this European shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, and once you start waking up and you start realizing what was done to us as a people, it should be only natural for you to want to extract and withdraw yourself from that. If you don't, then you just haven't woken up, you still asleep, and you're in a simulationist. You're like, I don't care nothing about that. I'm an American, and I'm going to assimilate into the dominant culture. Whatever they do, I do. Whatever they throw out, I accept. That's assimilate. Me, I'm the runaway slave on the plantation. I'm running away from all. I'm the revolution, complete constructive change. You know what I'm saying? I want to withdraw from everything. You know, everything that they gave us, you know, when I can pinpoint it and pinpoint the way that I, you know, do it, especially things that's unnecessary, like the celebration of these holidays. I'm like, I can't participate in it. You know what I'm saying? If you do, that's your thing, but wake up, all right? Peace. I'm out.